Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can learn art cells. So what I'm first going to show you is how to draw art cells like the boyfriend. So here you have the boyfriend ready to go, but you want to know how he's been drawn. So what I usually do is I compare things. Like for example, his top spike with his middle spike in its face. As you can see here, the top spike is almost twice as big here as it is the middle spike. This is the top spike, and this is the middle spike. You can see it's twice as big, and it is twice the range. But yeah, this part also doesn't get used. So yeah, kind of like that. It looks twice as big. And here you also have these top spikes, these bottom spikes. You can kind of see them like teeth because they cut off in the middle. It kind of looks like teeth, like from a shark. Rawr, he's gonna kill you. And yeah, the same thing goes to the face. So you kind of study the facial structures, like how big is this in comparison with this, because this is almost 2 blocks wide. Like these are 2 blocks. Then here at the face, this is almost 1 block. So that gives you a pretty good reference point to look at, to measure how big everything is. Like this connects to the head. So now you know that this is 1.5 blocks wide. Same thing goes with this. This is 1 block, but this is also another block. So you know that this is 2 blocks wide. And you can apply the same logic here. This is as big as this, so you know that this is 2 blocks wide. And bam, you know the measurements of all the shit the boyfriend has. Sorry, my nose is really stuffy. So this looks like a mess, but it's an understandable mess. You need to make sense of how everything works. That's how I do it. I make sense of how big is everything so I can apply it to my own art style. So what I then usually do is for example, yeah, this is the same thing, is I'm gonna look at other work so I can look at similarities of both the different works. So like maybe something is different at the other art style. And with Friday Night Funkin', 9 times out of 10, it's always gonna be different. This boyfriend, this is modern. I call this modern boyfriend. This guy is completely different than this guy. They look the same, but they were completely different. The one reason is because he's drawn in perspective, but also, as you can see, the shoes are different. This one is far more flat than this one. This one has far more curve into them, far more oomph. The like this goes like this. It is far more pointier. This one is far more circular and rounded. This looks more realistic than this one. This looks more stylized. The shoelaces are different. They're far rounder. This one is like one big piece. This one is like one big piece here. This one also has, I think it has shorter legs than this one. This one looks taller to me. I think it's because he's sitting, but I think if he stood upright, that he would be taller than this one. Also, his circle piece got fixed. I did it with this one. I didn't really like. Originally, he has a cut like he has a cut. He has a cut right here or something, which has been fixed here. The mouth goes. Yeah, I don't really like that. I like this far better. That the mouth doesn't go into the hair. He also has shorter hair. Like this top piece is huge. Wait, hold on. Let me. This top piece is huge in comparison with this one. This one is far smaller. But this one is far bigger than this one. Like if you would compare, this one goes like around here. Well, in the original, these two are the same height, the same length. Although this one is thinner, these two are both equally long. So yeah, it's about comparing art styles and what you want to interpret in what art style. What are your preferences in the art style Friday Night Funkin'? Because you might, yeah, of course you could draw this, but if you really want to draw something that you like, and this isn't what you like, but you still want to draw in a Phantom Arcade art style, don't be afraid to like experiment. Like, I traced over this art piece with just a few moments ago with this, and this is what I would personally change about this art style. This part is shorter. This part is shorter. The cheek is a bit longer. The hair are more closer in size. The hairpiece are more closer in size than the original. It's also lower. This one has not as much a gap. This one has a gap in between the hair. The original doesn't have that. I really hate that about it. The earpiece is more flat, and so you kind of interpret your things with your biases with your art style, which is normal. Not every you can get as close as you want, but you'll never be Phantom Arcade. That's something you gotta keep in mind. You'll never be Phantom Arcade. This is the harsh reality of the situation. You don't know what goes through his head, but you can look at his work and like compare it with each other and come as close as you can. But you'll never get 100% there. That's the sad reality of the situation. Like, for example, what also is a good thing to do with his art style is that you compare other fan works. Just like I said, it's like how I talked before about art styles and how we never get close to it. This is Nightmare Moon's version of Boyfriend. He has kind of the same things as I changed to Boyfriend. The hair is more longer than here. The cheek is more close to it, far closer. The cheek is also more pointier. It doesn't have the same roundness as the original. Their hair pieces are also more wide and far less pointier, which I don't necessarily like about this. I always like the more triangular shape of the hair. He also added this curve with, I think, Phantom Arcade Silk Wizard introduced, because he wanted his Friday Night Funkin' style to look more expressive and more unique, which I think is really cool. I really like that detail. His stomach is also far shorter. Like, this one has kind of a neck here. I wouldn't call it a neck, but this kind of a neck which goes into the body. This one has the same thing, but no, this one doesn't have the neck. This one just goes straight here. Goes kind of like this. This one is far more rounded at the stomach part than the original boyfriend. So yeah, it's kind of like finding a middle ground of what you want to do. Look at fan work, look at the same differences. What should I keep in the art cell, and what can I customize while still being in the same art cell? It's a thin line which you have to walk on um to get like a good middle ground in between the two. And you can also just draw one cell like exactly like this, like 100% this art cell. But yeah, at that point, what makes your then it isn't even yours anymore, you know? It doesn't have your flair into it. You can do that. I 100% support you in that decision, but yeah, you might as well just use the original sprites at that point. So yeah, that's how I think about it. This was yeah, I'm not gonna draw anymore. So yeah, this was my progress of how I drew it. So I first reminded myself from memory where everything was. Like this one was like 2 blocks almost, 1 block, yada yada yada. Then I made this. What I did then was I copied this, and let me show you. Did I remove the frame? Oh yeah, here. I compared it with this one. I compared the similarities that this one has modern influences while still remaining, well, it still has some of the classic boyfriend aesthetics. So yeah, that's how I study art. I'm sorry if this was a messy video, but this is I think this is a good way to like start off, trace boyfriend, learn the details, and eventually trying them yourself, first without reference, and then you look at the reference. So you're kind of like testing yourself. It's kind of like a test. You're like, all right, so I studied this and this. Then you're gonna give yourself the test to show how close am I. Then you're gonna compare and you're gonna learn from those mistakes. And you're gonna keep growing. And you do the same thing with other fan works, like the ones of fan made boyfriends that also come really close to that style. The better you are, the more selective you'll get. So it's gonna become harder and harder to find artists to reference that are on the same skill level as you. The more you progress, it's something. Because sometimes it just becomes so different that it doesn't even feel like it's really the style. It's close to the style, but it's not exactly. It's just too different, you know. There isn't a lot you can take out of it, so you might as well not try. So yeah, uh that's uh that's the lesson for today. Keep growing, keep improving, and eventually you'll get to a point where people, when you post art about boyfriend, uh that people don't even see the difference anymore. That people would go like, oh my god, it looks just like Phantom Arcade. And I'm not saying I'm there yet, but I'm saying you could get there while still keeping the same differences. Because eventually, because the customization in these two styles that I've chosen are still coming from the same art style. I'm not changing anything that hasn't already been done. Everything I've drawn has already been done by Phantom Arcade, just in a different way. That's the thing. Don't add like your original things. I mean, you can, but if you want to be authentic, then I would recommend if you just stick to what Phantom Arcade has drawn, and like move certain elements of different drawings to make your own. Right? That's what I suggest you do. But hey, if you want to draw like your own style of Friday Night Funkin', I don't want you to be I don't want you to think like you shouldn't do that, because I love other people's art styles of this character. I love the Funkadelics, for example, with his like Scott Pilgrim art style. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying that if you want to draw like Phantom Arcade, you're gonna take things from Phantom Arcade. That's the bottom line. All right, guys, it's been a real one. I'll see you guys later. Bye.